Hello and welcome back to the Painting Company. Today, or more accurately over the next couple of days, I will be painting a Scorn Desert Hydra. I absolutely love this model. I like, the number of heads it has. I love playing it in War Machine. It's 5 initial attacks, all at, I believe, power 17. Well, with melee anyways, and then on top of that, it can also do 5 ranged attacks. Overall, very fun model. Has a total of 4 fury you can boost it to, so you can get a total of 9 attacks out of this thing. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten to play it a ton because only recently I've been able to get into a decent community to play more often. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it is one of the best colossal killers in the game because of the sheer number of attacks that this beautiful beast can levy at. So this video is kind of boring. It's just me applying a base coat for the rest of the painting that comes later, and it's also more of me being sad because before I even got started, I was trying to find a decent camera to record with, and a lot of people told me, oh, just record with your phone, pretty decent quality, don't have to spend anything extra. And so far, all 3 of these videos have been recorded on my cell phone. Well, one of the 2 I have, one of them, fun story, Cricket Wireless, kind of hate those guys. If you switch plans with a Cricket phone before 6 months, they will not unlock your phone to let it be used by a different carrier. So I have a phone that used to be a Cricket, but it wasn't activated for 6 months before I switched over. And now it does nothing, so I have a new phone. And I started recording on my main phone. Transferring it to my Google Drive is the best way I found. Then I would download it onto my computer, and that worked, but then my Google Drive got full, and even with, uploading, deleting, all that, it wasn't sustainable. So, I switched to my other phone, which I use only for War Machine, and that was great. Most of the footage, actually all the footage for this video, was shot on that phone. However, I'm out of space on that one too, even though I, once again, upload my videos, delete them, so that way I continually have space. I'm still running out of storage because bloatware. Somehow on that phone I have 18 of my 32 gigabytes of storage taken up by my apps, and all of them are under a gigabyte of storage space, and I've not downloaded anything except the War Machine app, and have actively removed every other app that isn't getting used, which is basically all of them, all the ones that aren't essential to the operating system, but I still somehow have 18 gigabytes in apps, and the system itself takes up 11 gigabytes, and so that only gives me 3 gigabytes to record with. So that's tricky. Also, every video that's over like 13 minutes long, it refuses to upload into my Google Drive, so that doesn't even work well. And yeah, long story short, it's a massive fight to try and do anything. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go out and get an actual webcam or something, so that way I can just plug straight into my computer and record and download straight there without having to do this song and dance with outside recorders. Anyways, back to the subject of the video. I looked it up. The Desert Hydra is in fact power 18 on its melee attacks instead of the power 17 I said. Pretty good, range of 3 inches, mat of 6. I really like to run it under Xerxes 2, because Field Marshal plus 2 speed, getting you up to speed 8 on a Gargantuan, and then you can cast Rapport on it to get it to be mat 8 or ignite to have it be power 20, and then that would give it critical grievous runes and critical fire. So, 2 beautiful effects. Another thing I love about the Desert Hydra, yes, it has snacking. So, you kill something, you regain D3 health, and it has forced regeneration, which is D3 plus 3 points. So you can force it to heal for a maximum of 6 points of health. Every time it kills something, you can heal it. And for the low cost of a 3 points for a 3-man unit, you can have another 3 D3s of healing to put on the thing. So yeah, overall, I love it. One of my favorites. I have always found it to be exceptionally useful. Well, always I say, as I've only played a couple of games. But, fortunately, that's changing. Yeah. One downside to painting that I never actually foresaw was the fact that it takes so long that to upload it into a video, it's absurd just how long it takes to do anything with this. This video is going to come out to around half an hour, but that is after cutting down unnecessary bits, or bits where I don't have the model held well, so it's most of what's happening is off camera. After I get this video out, I'll have another shorter video to upload because I have the footage for it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put this whole model up to show for painting on YouTube, because I'm submitting it for a competition that hopefully would give me money. And, well, money's always a great thing to have. Yeah, the due date is April 14th, so I need to have it done by then, which means I have a couple weeks, but I worry that I wouldn't be able to get a decent camera in time to actually record it all. I'll go over what lore I have for the Desert Hydra in the next video, because there honestly isn't a ton. I think it's just the Scorn book with what Professor Victor Pendrake wrote down. But aside from that, I don't think there's much other lore on them. Just really big snake thing with 5 heads. Yeah, so in this one, as I stated, I'm just doing a base coat. I've never done base coats before, partially because I guess I haven't seen the value in them, because, why would I do a base coat when I'm just going to put another layer of paint over it and I won't see the base coat. Probably because I've never actually tried doing base coats, and so I just, have no idea how to do them. So I figured that was as good a time to try them as anyway. So base coating in brown for the back, and then I'm going to do a lighter tan for the underbelly. So hopefully it'll look good. Plan to do a lot of detailing on these guys. As I said, I'm trying to submit it for a competition. If I'm unable to upload all the footage onto YouTube for, lack of having a recording device, I'll definitely make sure to come back and show the finished product afterwards. Because my plan is to dig in my bits bag, dig out a bunch of extra models, maybe pretty them up, whatever, put them on the base or in its mouth, make it look like it's eating people. Should be a good time. Yesterday was the 2026 Adepticon keynote, and I loved it. It was amazing. I'm not a huge Menoth player. Well, I can't say I'm even a Menoth player to begin with. I've literally never played them. I had a pretty decent army of them for a while, but I flipped it, never actually played it. They're really cool looking though. So I like their aesthetic. If I'm ever in a place where I can get them and paint them, I'd probably enjoy doing that. But I have no plans to actually play them seriously. The Adepticon thing, they revealed the Menoth stuff coming back. Whatever his name was, Shield of the Faith. He's a cool model, one I'd like to paint when I have more colors. have I have from Citadel, Bestigur Flesh and Evil Sun Scarlet. But aside from that, I don't have anything else that could be used to be flame colored. I just have red and orange, which I guess you don't need much else for, but yellow would probably be nice. I also, they're mostly white and gold, so I'd probably be able to paint them, but yeah, they look cool. I think they look very pretty, but I also don't think that I have enough interest in them to buy them just to paint them, because if I did that, then I would be trying to sell them, and I don't trust my sales abilities enough to do that. And I also am not interested enough in Protectorate to buy them, paint them, and play them. So, I don't know. Maybe if YouTube turns lucrative, or I can get somebody to commission me to paint, then I'd be able to paint them and not then have to try and sell them. Hopefully I'll be good enough that people who play War Machine will see my videos and say, hey, I have an unpainted army, and, commission me to paint them. And then it's a double whammy. I get content, they get a painted army. Well, I guess it's a triple whammy then, because the third thing is then I get to paint something new that I wouldn't paint ordinarily. Yeah, so right now it's going to be a lot of Scorn, Army of the Western Reaches, because they're my main army. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of Scorn. I play Army of the Western Reaches. Going to be a lot of Khador Armored Core, because it's what I play. And whatever, subscription models I get. I currently have Aberration and Nostilla, because, annual subscriber. And then, once they come out, once my thing renews, I'm going to have Constance Blaze and Gallant, which, beautiful models. I love them. They're gorgeous. Specifically Gallant. Most of the Morrow stuff, I think, is just really cool. I want to paint it. But I also don't have any of the Morrow stuff. Anyways, back to the Adepticon keynote. So Menoth is coming back. They're cool looking. I have not much interest in actually playing them, but once again, once I see the rules, that might change. What's it called? Thane of Nero. They look awesome. Really cool. And once again, they probably aren't going to be my jam exactly, but I have this friend who really likes vampires. In fact, if you go to my tagged channels, you will notice this friend, Luna7, really likes vampires, and at one point said that they would get into War Machine if I found them a model that was their character, like Luna. They're also a liar, because I showed them Haisane, which is basically his character, the main difference being that it has a giant sword. So, I mean, potato. Yeah. I was like, hey, look at this thing, and they were like, yeah, I'm still not playing War Machine, and I was like, you lying monster, I don't like you. But hey, if you like Dead by Daylight content, go check them out, because, it's pretty much all he's doing. All he's doing. Just Dead by Daylight. Actually, no, he did a, Moist Critical style Roblox is Falling Apart video, so there is that, but it's mostly Dead by Daylight. Yeah, also, the cosplay thing from the Menite cosplay thing. Once again, not a massive Menite dude. Probably am not going to get that. But it is very definitely a Halloween costume option. I mean, especially if you like put LEDs into the end of the spear that were like yellow, so that way it could look like it was glowing with like fire. That would be cool. Or if you just plain made an actual spear and then like put tar or pitch in the end, so that way it was actually burning. That'd be cool. So the flame guard guy, I think that'd be a decent Halloween costume option. Fane of Nero's cool. Protectorate's neat. Oh yeah, Imperatus. Completely out of like left field. I was not expecting Imperatus to come back. Like I kind of forgot about him actually, but Imperatus, at least as far as War Machine rules are concerned, Imperatus has got to be one of my favorites. Because like he's just so cool. You kill him and then he just says, "No, I don't think so." Just regens. It's great. Shoot. Earlier I was talking about him, and I had forgotten his Warcaster's name, and then I was like, I should look that up, and then I never did. But Imperatus, really cool model. I used to have pretty much all of the Retribution stuff, but that was when I was still new at War Machine. Literally never played them, because at that time I was pretty much the only person I knew that was into War Machine, because person who got me into War Machine because they were getting out of War Machine. So, kind of a dead end situation. So I had almost all the Retribution stuff, a ton of, Legacy, Shadows, and Dawn Guard. Yeah, Legion of Dawn and Shadows, yeah. Ton of them. I had a Warden Executioner specifically, and I sold it for like $15 because at that time I didn't know that people were paying like hundreds for them. Yeah, the Wardens, House Eulawur Warden. Pretty much everything House Eulawur is just non-existent. Nobody can find it. So, at the time, I just kind of sold it because no idea what it did, what it does. Well, I knew what it did, but I didn't have any idea what it was worth. So I sold it for real cheap when could have been worth a lot, but whoever I sold it to was probably happy, and that's good. So yeah, oh yeah, Vyros. It's Vyros who has Impy. That is something with all these character warjacks they're bringing back. Like Behemoth, it's fine, it makes sense, because Behemoth never had a Warcaster it was bonded to. Behemoth was just special from the get-go. So, just throw that one in a new chassis, it's fine. But like Thunderhead, wait, no. Thunderhead wasn't bonded to Nemo, he was just also special. So Thunderhead is fine. Now I'm doubting myself, I'm going to double check that Thunderhead wasn't actually bonded to anybody. But yeah, so yeah, Bandit was apparently Allison Jakes' Warjack and Tactics, but I never played that. Didn't know it was a thing until it was like dead. I didn't know War Machine was a thing until it was dead. It's kind of sad. Yeah, Bandit getting jumped into a bigger body. I believe Jakes is still working for Gravediggers, so it's fine. It makes sense. Because, still bonded to Jakes. I believe Deuce is Ace's new body. So, once again, it's fine. Makes sense. But, like, Imperatus was bonded to Vyros. So, are they just having this new massive warjack that is, like, lonely and sad because his boss is dead? I mean, I don't know Virus's fate, but if he's like most elves in this setting, he probably died a terrible tragic death because I don't know about Steamforged, but Privateer Press definitely hated the elves for some reason. They like refuse to let the elves be happy. It's one disaster to the next. Like, first you blew up the planet, then your gods are gone, now they're dead, and now you're all liches. So, like, how do you get around that? Why did Privateer Press hate the elves so much? Anyways, Scuttlebutt for the Brineblood Marauders. I have no idea how he'll play on the battlefield, but that is such a cool model. I love it. Just a giant crab troll thing with the lighthouse. So cool. Chef's kiss. The big old one for Chimera. Once again, chef's kiss. Cool looking. Probably going to be an extremely annoying to play against, especially being that I'm a Khador player. Good at melee, terrible at range. So, probably never going to hit the thing with a ranged attack. Oh yeah. Constance Blaze and Gallant. I believe Gallant was bonded to Blaze, so once again they're not having sadness, my leader's dead disorder. But also, like, I know that exceptionally smart Warjack Cortexes can, like, figure out new bodies, but at the same time, it kind of, like, how are they coping with suddenly being massive? Like, Gallant was already a large Warjack, so, 12 to 13, 14 feet, I think, is the standard metric for that. I haven't seen the thing for the 80s, but, like, it's got to be around, like, 17, 18 feet tall. It gained, like, 4 to 5 feet of height. How is it not struggling? Or it probably did struggle at first and then just figured it out later. Also, they didn't say what was next after Thornfall and the My Mini Factory, but I think they're re-releasing, not Dark Host, Black Fleet, because shows Terminus. I don't know if Terminus is Black Fleet. I don't look at Crix too much, but they mentioned a big, scary ghost ship, and that sounds like Black Fleet to me. So, if they're just straight up re-releasing the old factions, I'm kind of down for that. Yeah, I know Terminus does not work for Black Fleet. Not even as, like, a journeyman warcaster. I don't know, it could just plain be a thing of, Crix is next. Yeah, Terminus actually doesn't work for either of the prime armies, so it is probably just them saying that Crix is next. Which, Crix isn't really my vibe. Even though I like undead models, like, the Graveborn for the Reaper Covenant, I love those models, all the bones and whatnot are cool. I don't like zombies. Because, skeletons are cool, zombies are just too rotty, I think. So, yeah. Either way, I'd be fine with having, like, another full army. It's kind of my jam. Yeah, so, yeah. Chain Belchers, those guys, they're coming out for Thornfall. I want to see what they do. Shoot, that's another thing. I need to get a new webcam. Well, not new, but I need to get a webcam or something, so that way I don't have to keep fighting space. I also need to get, like, a solid state drive or something, so that way, well, SSD or hard drive, so that way I'm not running out of space on my computer. And then I need to get a new resin printer, because my resin printer, super old one of the old, like, OG Hallett ones, so old, Ender isn't carrying parts for it anymore. Creality. Ender is the series. Ender is a different series, actually, but Creality doesn't carry parts for them anymore. So then I'd have to go, second half item on, like, Alibaba or Temu or something. And something funny with that, I found screens for that printer on AliExpress for $5 a piece, but shipping would have been $100, and I'm not doing that. I just got a different thing and then cut it down to size. Um, so yeah, I would need it to replace the LCD screen because it got cracked. To do that, I would have to get it secondhand. So one, I have to make I'd be gambling against the person selling it, not having mislabeled it either intentionally or accidentally, and then being stuck with a product I can't use. Or if I did get it, the correct one, and it was just $800 in shipping, I can't do that sort of thing. So instead, what I'm gonna do, I'm thinking I'm gonna get a any cubic mono 7. I was at a not fair, not convention. I don't know. I guess it would count as a fair, thing. There was a flea market there, and I ran into some people who they make their living by 3D printing and selling D&D models, and I asked them what printer they used, and they said it was an Anycubic Mono 7. They also told me a specific resin they use for model making. I don't remember that one, which is unfortunate, but Google tells me that ABS-like is the best for it, so ABS-like is what I have. Yeah, I need to get a new resin printer and then get printing like mad, because I have not printed off, well, technically I've printed off some Dark Ops, but I have not printed off any of it worth mentioning. I've printed off exactly no Pharaoh. I haven't printed any of the terrain. I think the only thing I did was I printed off Buck Hasker, the Ghost Dog variant. Yeah, I'm giving them $10 a month. It's cool to have all the STLs. I'm planning on buying the Grimkin Frontier bundle because I love the Grimkin. I played them for a little bit, but then sold them because saw the writing on the wall, knew they were coming back digital, and wanted to sell them while they were still worth a bunch before the market got diluted, which successful. So I want to get those, but that would be 3 armies, all in digital form, none of them printed. So I need to get a new printer, and I need to start printing like my life depends on it, which will hopefully get easier as I start to get free time again. Yeah, it's been cool. I'm finally getting to do steamrollers, meet people, play the game. Hopefully I'll be able to start going to conventions. I have been in War Machine for about 2 years, and I played all of 5 games, I think. Not counting, trying to teach people how to play to get somebody to play with. Yeah, it's kind of sucked. Because, I love the lore, I love the setting, I love the models, I love painting. I love all of it, and I love playing, but I just haven't had anybody to play against. So, as I mentioned, I finally found a community of people. I have to drive a decent distance to go meet them. But, either way, I finally have people to play against. It's cool. I'm excited for this. Hopefully this YouTube channel will help me be more diligent and, paint my pile of shame more frequently. It's kind of been hit or miss thus far. I hope people see this and like it. Fun fact, in my previous video I said that I had 3 subscribers. One of them was me. One of them still is me. I should probably unsubscribe for myself because, well, it doesn't change anything, but at the same time, it doesn't exactly feel honest. I don't know why, it's weird. But when I released that video, I hadn't checked my analytics. I actually had 4 subscribers at the time. I know who the first one was. It was me. I know who the other 2 are. People I sent my link to. but I don't know who the fourth one is. And I checked again before recording this video. I'm up to 7 subscribers. So, 6 people, 2 of which I know are my friends. So, 4 people that I don't know. And they subscribe to me off of a video with royalty-free, like, rock music that I found on Pixabay, with models spinning in a circle and a message saying that there was more to come. And then, like, a 20-minute sped-up video that was just music and, like, 3 minutes of me talking, saying that I didn't have anything to talk about. And 4 complete strangers that I don't know decided that that was worth following my channel. I mean, I find that weird, but, like, if I ever get, like, above 100, I'm gonna be gobsmacked, cause, like, people like my subpar painting? Huh? I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Also, I think I said previously that, like, you have to have 50 subscribers before they'll start letting you sell ads. I think it's actually 500. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not even close to that. I'm also not even gonna... If I have the option, I will not run ads on this channel. If I make any money off this channel, I want it to be through commissions or sponsorships. And if it's a sponsorship, I would only take sponsorships from paint companies. So Citadel, although Citadel is dead, they renamed it for some reason. Citadel's such a good name. Army Painter. I think there's one called, like, Goblin Paints that I've seen a couple times, but they might also be brushes. And then, of course, Steamforged, my beloved. Yeah, I would only take sponsors from painting dudes or from Steamforged games, because, well, can you guess what I'm doing? Oh, also, P3 Wave 2 should be getting fulfilled in June. At least that's what I remember when they ran the whole thing last year. I'm gonna do an unboxing video. Anyways, enjoy your evening.